Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, Waking Up with Tech. So today we're going to be going over the Switch OLED, everything from over my experience to pricing to also everything overall with specs and how it's holding up today for me in 2026. So I went from everywhere from looking on Walmart, Target, big name brands, all the way to online like Amazon and eBay. After comparing pricing conditions from everywhere, Walmart, Amazon, etc., I had settled on GameStop. On paper, GameStop was a overall good pick. When it came to the actual user experience and actually being there, it was not good. Me and my girlfriend both got Switch OLEDs. It was going good. They're very helpful on getting us these Switch OLEDs. Hers was a little bit more because it had the design in the back, and they were really helpful on giving us and helping us find the other colored controllers as well. And really good. I even double checked to see if everything was all right with the Switch. Make sure there's no scratches, no dents, no nothing. Until we had gotten home, we found out my girlfriend's Switch was not working on the dock. Called it in, we asked, we told them what's going on, why is it not working? They just come in, we'll swing, we'll figure it out. And we went back to the GameStop not even a week later. I think it was about our second or third day of having the Switch. So we got to the GameStop. They're very helpful on it, trying to figure it all out. She plugged it into the computer to make sure it was all working good, like the dock was working good. She was trying to find the problem. Little to our knowledge, we found out the problem was they had sold us the Switch OLED dock with the Switch 2 power cable. First, it wasn't going to be an easy fix. She was telling us like we have to turn in the whole thing just to switch the power cable. She told us that everything has its own dedicated serial number that comes in the bundle. It was going to have us refund it, switch it out, but she helped us a lot and just swapped it out on her own. At first, it was like, oh, we dodged a bullet. And the next day, I didn't realize because I wasn't using my Switch at all or hardly whatsoever because I was very busy. Find out that this controller right here is just sliding off as I was using it. It really sucked. I don't know why I did that. I forgot to double check that. That was kind of my fault as well. We had called them again, explained that it hasn't even been the 7 days for the warranty that they only give you. They told us it was going to be a pretty easy change out, that there shouldn't be any problems with it, and that everything should be good. We went, swapped it back out. I tested if the new controller would slide off. It didn't. It worked pretty fine until again we had gotten home. I found out this bumper right here didn't work. It was broken. We recall them. We asked, what's going on? Why is it not, like, if we're able to switch it out again? They say it's going to be pretty difficult this time because we're at the end of our warranty. Don't know if they could do very much with it. Successfully, they told us we could just come back in and talk to them and they will see what they can do. The lady had to be very secretive on this Switch, pun intended, on the controllers. Since we were close to our end on our warranty, and also we already swapped the controller twice, and this was going to be the third time. So luckily she was able to do it for us. I'm not trying to put her on her blast. I'm not trying to get her in trouble. That GameStop is already gone. It's not there anymore. So I don't think anything will happen. So she swapped it out for us. We get home, and guess what I find out? This controller slides right off in the middle of playing. I'm disappointed. This is the third time we did it. I don't want to call them again and get them more in trouble than they already probably were in. I just stick with it. So I just order metal slide locks for the controllers that I inserted myself right there. You can see, and it worked really good. I love them, but for some reason, it will still sometimes have a problem with it showing software wise the controller is actually locked in or not. What also sucked was the purchase experience. So this OLED here was about 140, 150. I wish I can remember the exact price for just the basic black model. Both these controllers used to be white. I wanted a black I wanted to be different. Purchase wise, 150, 140, 150, around that price range. It was really good. Really good deal, especially from anywhere. Used console, has screen protector. We also wanted a different type of controller, and they brought this one out for us. They told us that it was going to be the same price when we asked. We asked about it to make sure. To find out, this one was more by about $20 more. It was about 160, 180, somewhere around there. I think it was like 180. I don't remember the exact price, but it was like 180 for whatever reason. I get it for my girlfriend because she didn't want a black and white one. She didn't want the regular red and blue one, like from the controllers. And she also, when they showed us this print right here, she wanted it even more. I didn't care. I wanted to buy her it, but it really sucked that they told us it was going to be a certain price and it wasn't that price, and it was a little bit more. And they didn't explain it to us. Explain that to us. The only thing they ever said was like, it's a second generation OLED. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know there is more than one generation of OLED. Did my homework, and yeah, sure enough, there is two different OLED generations. So the reasons why in the first place we picked the OLED in the first place is because I've been watching a lot of tech. I have been following the OLED, the regular Switch for a while, even the Switch Lite, and now the Switch 2 as well. The OLED really stood out because we didn't want to get a Switch 2 yet, and we wanted something between the original Switch and the Switch 2. We wanted something in between, which was the OLED. We're going in there. We were going to buy the Switch 1, but I wanted the OLED display. I wanted the better graphics. I wanted the better upgraded hardware, and she did as well. So it was sold. The Switch OLED with the 7-inch OLED screen. So both of ours had 64 gigabytes of storage. I was lucky because mine also came with 64 more gigabytes of storage. It's very surprising to open it and just see that. Other thing that had really sold me on really getting the Switch OLED was this stand. This stand is just amazing. I have felt in the past with my friends, Switches, their stands were not that good. I really dreaded the old Switch stands. It's just amazing. I love this console. At one point, I even stopped getting on my PC just to play the Switch. It's very easy to use, compact, and I can travel with it almost anywhere. Games I've been playing on it mostly have been Splatoon 3, Tamagotchi Life, and Hades. Top 3 games, I love them. These 3 games were the reasons why my usage was through the roof. I was almost on it every day, every time I can get it. Even when I was at work, on my lunch, I'd be using this. Every chance I got, it was very helpful on using it. Working out, to listening to music and watching YouTube at the same time, it was very useful. Now, the downsides. Not very many downsides to using this handheld. The only downsides I had wasn't really the console itself, but more of the purchase experience. It was very bad. I've never had an issue like that. But overall, if I recommend anybody to getting an OLED Switch, I say do it, especially for the people that aren't able to afford the Switch 2. I know how it feels myself. We could have settled on, instead of having our 2 OLEDs, we could have had just one Nintendo Switch 2. We wanted to have more of our own personal consoles where we didn't have to share storage. We didn't have to share what games are on it at all times. We didn't have to delete or reinstall anything. That I say do it, especially if you're able to find good prices, are still able to play the games that you want to play. Even if this is a generation down from the Switch 2, it's still a really good console. It really holds up pretty well, graphics wise and everything. I have also played Sonic Crossworlds Racing, and that game looks just amazing on the Switch OLED. I also play more in handheld mode than I do in TV mode because the screen's just amazing. It's nice, and that's what I want to use it mostly. I say also, before you purchase anything, do more of your homework. Also, if you're doing a purchase more in person than online, and the console is a used console, I say double check with everything. Everything. Buttons to the controller sliding off to everything. Make sure. because some prices are really good for the console, but sometimes you never know what's hidden inside. And that'll be all for my Switch OLED video. That was my review on what I had to go through, but keep in mind, not everybody goes through the same things. People return the consoles in different conditions, so the consoles themselves get sold in different conditions as well. Say look, compare, and test. LCT, look, compare, test. Do those 3 things and you should be good to go. I'm waking up with tech, you're waking up with tech. I'll talk to y'all on the flip side.